Hello everyone, my name is Carlvin James Marchan, and the Great Wall of China is my report. The Great Wall is a powerful symbol. It represents the unification of China because it was linked together as China was unified for the first time in the Qin dynasty, which is 221 to 206 BC. It represents the awesome ability of the Chinese to work together for the good of country. What is the Great Wall of China? The Great Wall of China is a massive wall which length is over 21,196 kilometers. In height is about 6 to 7 meters or 20 to 23 feet. Why was the Great Wall of China built? Ginawa ang the Great Wall of China as a military defensive line para labanan ang mga mananakop sa northern nomadic nations. At apart from the function of defense, pinapalakas din nito ang kanilang ekonomiya as well as sinulong din nila ang pagpapalit ng kultura and national integration of different nations sa dalawang panig nito. Who and when the Great Wall of China built? It was Emperor Qin Shi Huang. Okay, so when Emperor Qin Shi Huang ordered construction of the Great Wall around 221 BC, ang labor force na gumawa ng pader ay karamihan mga sundalo at bilanggo. Sinasabi rin na higit kumulang 400,000 people ang namatay during the wall's construction. At sinasabi rin na karamihan sa mga manggagawa ay nilibing na lamang sa loob ng pader.
So, I'm Ronel F. Resurrection, and I'm going to report the continuation of our topic. First is the ancient seismograph or the earthquake machine. So, pumunta muna tayo sa mga bagong panahon. Sa ngayon, meron tayong 3 instruments o devices na ginagamit para sa pag-measure ng isang earthquake. First is the seismometer, which can detect the earthquake. Second is the seismograph, which records the earthquake movement. And lastly is the seismogram, which shows the graphic representation of an earthquake. So, napaka-importante ng tatlong ito because gamit ang device na ito ay nalalaman natin ang intensity and magnitude na isang lindol. So, let's go back to the topic. Meet Shang Heng, born in 78 AD in China. He was a statesman, a scholar, and most importantly, an inventor. When he invented a device that is accurate at detecting earthquakes, even from afar, although the ancient Chinese did not fully understand the cause of earthquakes, they did see it as very important to keep track of such events, especially for the emperor, for him to be alerted of any earthquake occurring anywhere in his kingdom. The first seismograph ay gawa sa solid bronze decorated with 8 dragons na sumisimbolo na compass. At sa bawat mouth ng dragon, there is a small bronze ball, and sa baba nun ay merong 8 bronze toads o palaka. This mechanism can somehow detect an earthquake, kahit na malayo pa ito. Sa tuwing lilindol o mag-earthquake, malalaglag ang isang bola from the dragon's mouth papunta sa toad. What fascinating regarding siyang invention ay wala nakakaalam kung papaano nagwo-work ang invention niya. Meron isang theory na nagsasabi na meron isang stick sa loob ng barrel na gumagalaw sa tuwing lilindol o mag-earthquake. Depende sa direction kung saan nagka-earthquake. According to a legend, nung unang pinakita ni Xiang ang invention niya sa emperor ay gumalaw ang stick, which means lumindol noon sa west of Luoyang, the capital city noong unang panahon. And then, nung makalipas ang ilang araw, nabalitaan nilang lumindol nga doon, which means effective ang kanyang invention.
Hi guys, my name is Jude Maui Ardan, and I'm going to report the gunpowder. Gunpowder invention. Historians believe gunpowder originated in China. Originally, it was used as incendiary. Later, it found use as a propellant explosive. It remains unclear when exactly gunpowder made its way to Europe. Basically, this is because records describing the use of gunpowder are difficult to interpret. A weapon that produced smoke might have used gunpowder or could have used some other formulation. The formulas that came into use in Europe closely match those used in China, suggesting the technology was introduced after it already been developed. Gunpowder or black powder is great heuristical importance in chemistry. Although it can explode, its principal use as propellant, gunpowder was invented by Chinese alchemists in the 19th century. Originally, it was made by mixing elemental sulfur, charcoal, and saltpeter. The charcoal traditional came from the willow tree, but grapevine, hazel, elder, laurel, and pine cones have all been used. Charcoal is not the only fuel that can be used. Sugar is used instead in many pyrotechnic applications. How gunpowder works. Black powder consists of fluoric charcoal or sugar and oxidizer, saltpeter or niter, and sulfur to allow for stable reaction. The carbon from the charcoal plus oxygen form carbon dioxide and energy. The difference between gunpowder and black powder. While black powder and traditional gunpowder may both be used in firearms, the term black powder was introduced in the late 19th century in the United States to distinguish newer formulation from traditional gunpowder. Black powder produced less smoke than original gunpowder. Formula it's worth nothing. Early black powder was actually of white or tan in color, not black. Thank you.
And my topic for today is history of Chinese tea. The history of Chinese tea is a long and gradual story of refinement. Generations of growers and producers have perfected the Chinese way of manufacturing tea and its many unique regional variations. And ito naman po tayo sa Chinese tea types. Ang sabi dito, ang pinaka-main na ingredients o classify is syempre ang green tea at meron din black tea at meron din silang white tea, yellow tea at dark tea at marami pang iba na ginagawa nilang tea. At dito naman sa Chinese tea culture, tea is taken as a beverage to quench thirsty. Kumbaga, hindi lang to yung basta tea na ininom nila, kung pangtawid gutom din nila o uhaw. Tasting tea. The quality of the tea judged by the color, fragrance, and flavor of the tea, the water quality, and even the tea set when testing tea. The tester should be able to savor tea truly. While drinking, attention is paid to environment, atmosphere, music, and fusing techniques and interpersonal relationship. Kumbaga, nakaka-relax din to. Kumbaga, pag umiinom siya nito, relaxing din sa katawan at hindi lang basta-basta sa katawan, kundi sa kapaligiran din nila. Malaki din tulong tong ting to. Chinese tea lore is several hundred years, possibly even thousands of years older than the of Japan. It's said the Chinese tea lore places an emphasis on spirit and makes light of form. Tea lore had different representation at different historical periods. Teas are also various but all embody the tea spirit of clearness, respect, joy, and truthfulness. Ayun lang po. Thank you.
Ako nga po pala sila Sala Robic B, BSIT2. At ang re-report ko po is yung silk and paano po ito nakatulong sa ancient Chinese civilization. So the silk was invented or rather created by the wife of the Yellow Emperor Lei Zhu around the year 2696 BC, which is a wonderful year. The silk is formed using the cocoons of silkworms. The cocoons of the silkworms is collected, then weaved into a single string or multiple, then bashed to make it smoother and softer. At first, only those who have a high status can wear silk. Even merchants can sell it. Sometimes it is even used as a substitute for money. Although silk is mainly used for creating clothes, It can be also used on creating papers, fishing lines, and bowstring. Silk opened the China to the other civilizations, especially with Europe because of the silk. The trading is so large and important that the route Chinese and European people used to trade was given a name and it was the Silk Road. Yun lang po.
Hello everyone, I am Dale Ansiro and I am going to report about printing press. So after the Chinese developed woodblock printing, Johann Gutenberg was able to invent the printing press. A printing press is a device that apply pressure to an ink surface resting upon a print medium such as paper or cloth. So it is a more reliable way of printing using a cast type. He utilized wooden machines that extracted juice from fruits and attached to them a metal impressions of the letters and pressed firmly the cast metal into a piece of paper, which then made an exact impression on paper. This general invention soon evolved to be the mechanical printing press, which was eventually used all over the world. The printing press was invented to address the need for publishing books that would spread information to many people at a faster rate. This invention also made works accessible to individuals who could not even write. So, ginawa ang printing press para mas mapabilis ang production or the publishing of mga books and newspapers upang mas mapabilis din yung pagpapaspread ng information sa karamihan ng tao. Mas nakatulong din ang invention na to dun sa mga taong hindi kayang magsulat dahil mas napapadali nito yung paglalagay ng mga letters through printing.